I am Dr. Savitha, Department of History, SN College, Kollam. Today we are going to discuss about Gandhian era of Indian nationalism. The Indian national movement has been divided into three phases. The first phase is the moderate phase 1885 to 1905. During the first 20 years of its foundation, the Indian National Congress has been led by moderate nationalists. The leaders who shaped the policy and programs of the moderate were W.C. Banerjee, Surendranath Banerjee, Gopalakrishna Gokhale, etc. Their main objective was to establish the colonial mode of self-government. Then the extremist phase, 1905 to 1919. The prominent leaders of the extremists were Lal Pal Bal and Arabinda Ghosh. Their main objectives was to achieve complete independence through passive resistance. Then the 1919 to 1947 may rightly be called the Gandhian era of Indian national movement. So we are all familiar with Gandhiji's biography. Gandhiji was born on 2nd October 1869 at Porbandar in Gujarat. He got his barrister degree in London and went to South Africa concerning a legal case of Dada Abdullah Seth and Company, where he developed the technique of satyagraha based on truth and non-violence. In fighting against the racial discrimination of the South African government or the racial segregation of the South African government, he was successful in removing some of the worst evils of racialism. Then he came back to India in 1915 and established a Sabarmati ashramam near Ahmedabad, and then he devoted his entire life to the cause of the untouchables and Harijans. Gandhiji's entry into politics began with the Satyagraha in Champaran in Bihar in 1917, in which Gandhiji led the agitation of the poor indigo cultivators of Champaran against the Tingatiya system introduced by the British government. The Champaran Satyagraha ended with the Gandhiji's success. Then after the Ahmedabad mill strike and Kheda Satyagraha, Gandhiji became the symbol of nationalist India. In these circumstances, the British government introduced the Rowlatt Act in 1919. The Rowlatt Act, also known as the Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act, or it nicknamed Black Act. The Act practically denied the protection of law to the Indians. The Act provided a special court consisting of 3 judges for the trial of offenders. There was to be no appeal against the decisions of this court. The Act empowered a provincial government to search a place and arrested suspected persons without trial and keep them in custody. The act was severely opposed to Gandhiji. He proposed that the people should exhibit their protest against the act by observing a countrywide peaceful hartal. The hartal remained peaceful all over the country except in Delhi, Punjab, Gujarat and Bengal. As a part of this movement, Gandhiji was taken into custody on April 7th. The news of Gandhiji arrest led to the violence in Ahmedabad, resulting much loss of life and property. Thereupon, Gandhiji called off the agitation. Then many congressmen and people in general were unhappy over the suspensions of the Satyagraha movement. Then in 1920, Gandhiji organized a mass movement called the non-corporation movement. The non-corporation movement was a significant phase in the India struggle for freedom. It led by Gandhiji and was supported by Indian National Congress. The Nagpur session of the Congress in 1920 accepted the resolution of the non-corporation movement. The non-corporation movement had a triple aims: the redressal of Punjab grievances, rectification of Khilafat wrong and attainment of the Swaraj. The non-corporation movement had a twofold program. One is the negative or boycott and other is the constructive program. The negative or boycott programs were surrender of all titles and government posters, boycott of all functions organized by the British government, boycott of government schools, boycott of court of justice, non-payment of taxes, non-cooperation with the Act of 1919, boycott of all foreign articles. Then the constructive programs were establishment of the national schools, formation of panchayat, development of small-scale industry, and youth use of Swadeshi articles, development of communal unity, end of untouchability and caste system, adoption of non-violence in the whole country. Then the non-corporation movement started, the surrender of Kaisar-e-Hind by Gandhiji. Then the persons like C.R. Das, Motilal Nehru, Lala Lajpat Roy, C. Rajagopalachari, etc. gave up their legal practice and joined the movement. Among the prominent Muslim leaders who take active part in the non-corporation movement were the Ali brothers, M.A. Ansari, etc. Thousands of students boycotted government schools and colleges and joined the newly opened national schools and colleges. The Swadeshi became popular and Khadi became the symbol of the freedom. Then liquor shops and foreign cloth shops were began to be boycotted. Then the Tilak Swaraj Fund was started to finance the non-corporation movement with 6 months over a course of rupees were subscribed. The next dramatic event in the visit of Prince Wales. The day Prince landed Bombay on 17th November 1921 was observed as the day of Hartal all over the country. But the government tried to suppress the movement all possible ways. The Seditious Meeting Act was passed. Thousands of volunteers were put into jail. Police fired on the satyagrahis. Then in 1921, both Congress and Khilafat organization were declared unlawful. Public meetings were totally banned. During the course of the movement, the worst happened at Chauri Chaura, a police station 50 miles away from Kharagpur in UP on February 5, 1922. There, the police opened fire on the mobs of the peasants. When the infuriated mob attacked the police station and burned down the police station, which resulted in the death of a 22nd policeman. The news of this incident disturbed Gandhiji and he suspended the non-corporation movement. The suspension of the movement came as a surprise to the people. Lala Lajpat Roy, Subhash Chandra Bose and etc. protest against this suspension of the movement. Subhash Chandra Bose called it as a national calamity. M.N. Roy said that it reveals the weakening of the leadership. Lala Lajpat Roy said that it is wrong to punish the whole nation. Yet the non-corporation movement brought about some positive success. For the first time in the International Congress, the national movement became a mass movement. The movement showed a remarkable unity between Hindu and Muslims. Then rest of the matter we will discuss later. Thank you.